If I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree, thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve. Do as you please. So I'd set about, however necessary. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old, I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. If I were the devil. If I were the devil.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's me. Looks like we're having some technical problems, which happens on these shows from time to time. Most times it seems. I was trying to play an audio clip from Paul Harvey called If I Were the Devil. And before I started the show, I played it and it was really loud and clear. And of course, once I started the show, it sounded all kind of weird and really low. So you probably had no idea what you were listening to. And I'm sure it sounded weird, but that's what it was. If you haven't heard If I Were the Devil from Paul Harvey, look it up. It was from 1965. And it basically details what our world's like today, especially here in America. And if you're new to this, you probably don't even know what you're listening to right now in general. This is called Catching Up with KJ. This is episode number 74. We need to talk in parentheses, because I got some stuff to talk to you guys about tonight. It's been a while. It's been like, I'm thinking about a month or so since I've done a catching up show. And I slowed down a lot in my work in general. I've been away from YouTube for a while. I've been out of the scene. I still have my website though, and I've been staying current on my website. It's called Who is KJ Osborne with a Z. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. I've recently put up even more new videos, and I've got 3 more to go that'll be up tonight or tomorrow, tonight after the show or sometime tomorrow. But I've missed you guys, man. I've missed doing these shows. It's been a long time, like I said, and there's been a good reason for that. I don't even know where to start. Well, I guess first off, I got fired yesterday. I actually went back into the world, and I found a job that I really liked. And it lasted about a month. That's why I've been away for so long, about a month or so. And I got fired yesterday. Now before you think I'm just some kind of a loser, I'll explain, because this is an interesting story. And I guess in a sense, it's kind of another testimony too. It was a trip, man. I mean, I haven't worked, a quote real job in almost 4 years. I was really blessed to be able to just live off of YouTube, And even then, I was still just crafting the best videos I could, like in putting them up like once a week, maybe twice. And even with the income I was earning off of that, I was just able to live. That's why I moved to Central America there for a few years, Costa Rica. And then I came back in December after my accident, and it has seriously been a major time of testing on my end. I don't know about you guys, but it's been crazy, man. And I've mentioned this, I think, in some of the last few shows I did like a month ago or so. Man, it's been a lot of tests. Lots of tests, and I've learned a lot. For so long, I'm not a real prideful person, but for such a long time, I've been so grateful of the gifts God gave me. The creative type gifts, the gift of kind of seeing the things I see, and everything else. And mainly gifted with a great audience. I mean, there's so many people. I got over 300,000 subs now on the channel, even with all the weird stuff from YouTube lately. So I'm really blessed by that. It's the fact that people are just listening. It's cool, it's beyond cool. And I felt it was what I was put on this earth to do. And then like over the last several months, it really started in October of 2016, YouTube just went cuckoo. Like they went full bore. And now they're actually posting stories like in mainstream news where Google's saying, it doesn't matter anymore if you're in within community guidelines. You know, like if we don't like what you're talking about, or we think it's too controversial, then we're going to completely, hide it away. At the very least, demonetize your channel. I've seen a lot of other people making videos recently talking about that, and it happened to me too. It's crazy. It's just like overnight, like 95% of your videos where the green sign was for monetization went to yellow. And then the videos were all like, maybe we'll run videos, most likely not, kind of a situation. It was kind of strange, but really not that big of a surprise. I mean, the writing's been on the wall for a long time with YouTube, and what it started back with, last year, like YouTube Heroes program and stuff like this, was basically giving more control to the trolls than it was the actual creators here on the channel. And it just, it's went downhill since then in a huge way. So it's crazy. But, in some of my past shows, again, I've mentioned this and what I think this is all about. And sometimes I wonder if this is all just another sign of how close we are to, the event, whatever the event may be, the catching away, nuclear war, bombs in America. I don't know, whatever it's going to be. There's a lot of different theories. And I know we're in that season. It's why I've done the channel. We're in that season, but I don't ever try to figure out like what day or, I don't know. But I know we're in the season. Especially, like I said, after this last several months, it's so weird, getting back into the world and trying to work a quote regular job again. It's definitely a different experience, but luckily I do like people a lot. I get along well. I'm easygoing, and I've always done well in those areas. In this last job, so what happened is before I got into it, my channel just got decimated, the income or whatever, and I was hanging in for as long as I could. But it just got to a point where it just got too much. And then it really sucked because it switched everything around. Because all these years, I've never been into making videos just to get money. Like I started off not making any money on YouTube. As time went on, I became a partner. The money came. One day I was like, wow, I can actually live off of this. And I just did, and I started living off it. And that happened for years, like 3 years, over 3 years or so. It was great. And, you get used to it. But then it got taken away. Most of us, it got taken away. And that's what sucked, is because then I started feeling this pressure of having to put a bunch of videos up and, trying to get that money. Like it flip-flopped, then it was like, now I feel like I've got to upload just to make money. It used to be that I could take my time and make a video I thought was really good and solid, that had everything in it I needed to have there and things I wanted to show people. And it would work, like the income would be there and everything would be fine, and I wasn't greedy. Like I lived off what I made. It was good. But now, after they changed everything around, I'm sitting there looking at, do I need to get sponsors? All this, you start thinking of all these ways that you can just try to make money off of this. And none of it felt authentic to me personally. I just felt weird about it. Now, I'm not against anybody else doing that, because you got to do what you got to do. And if you feel like you really are like a watchman of the times and you think the Lord's put that on your heart to do and everything, then I would just do what I'm doing now and just pray about it and say, Father, thank you for the gifts. And I appreciate the format, the platform and the audience. And if it be in your will, please help me find a way to make a living off of what it is I do, off of my gifts. If it be in your will. If not, that's fine. We'll do something else. So that's kind of what I was doing before I started this job. And it's bad, man. I mean, like, I haven't had to struggle financially in years. I know a lot of other of you guys out there have, I'm sure worse situations than I have. I'm just saying that, in my past, I had struggled. I mean, that's what life is. It's topsy-turvy. It's peaks and valleys for some of us. I bounced around through so many random careers and jobs, that, the income comes and it goes, it's the way it's been. But this was the most recent I'd ever had to really struggle, and I started kind of freaking. And that's where my work slowed down, because I felt like I don't want to just feel forced to make a video to try to get some money up there. It feels wrong to me. And then my focus, you start worrying about worldly things, which I was wrong in that too. I mean, in Romans, I can't remember which chapter it is, but it talks about that all bad things work in favor of the Lord. It'll work out for the good. He'll turn things around. And I'm more living that now than I was back then, because I found myself worrying too much about money. Like, is my electric going to get turned off? How do I make $40 into a week's worth of groceries? Stuff like that. it just became too much. I was getting miserable. I was having days I didn't want to get off or out of bed or off the couch and just lay there all day. And I knew that was a bad sign. And I was still praying throughout, still reading scripture throughout, but I was just, you can read it and not live it. And I wasn't really living it, because we're definitely not supposed to be worried about things. We're not supposed to freak out. We don't have that spirit in us, So anyway, it was happening, man. And I started praying about a job and stuff. And then, pretty quick, I found something in my alley, and I'll just say it was sales, and it was for a family business. And got the job. They had tons of applicants, but I got the job, which was awesome. And I learned everything fairly quick, and I was doing good with sales. I mean, not to toot my own horn here, but I was doing so good that the owner's daughter at one point said their sales had gone through the roof, like over the last several weeks since I've been there. And she said that I even told my mom it was because of you, which is awesome. I was like, thanks. I want to try to be a blessing anywhere I am and everything else. And I felt I was doing really good. The problem is that, I don't want to sit here and get all like snarky and catty or whatever about this person, but we'll look at the kind of work I do on the channel. Look at the kind of subjects we talk about. I mean, this is real life stuff. And I've even said before that you're either controlled by the Holy Spirit, you're one of God's kids, and you've got Christ and everything, and you're controlled by the Holy Spirit, or you're controlled by the enemy. And it's easy to say and put in a video when you're just watching footage and stuff. It's easier to do. But when you meet these people in real life, when you're face to face with somebody that has bad spirits in them, it's a whole new situation. And I led a fairly isolated life over the last several years, outside of a close circle of friends and family and stuff. That's it, So, because the psychologist would tell us that she's bipolar, and she really was. Like, at one second she could be sugary sweet. I mean, the sweetest lady you ever met. I mean, she'd even text me when I was off and tell me how awesome I was and how much they appreciated me, stuff like that, right? Like, super sweet. And the next second, man, she'll be in this mode where, I seen her screaming and yelling at her daughter, and even with me recently, she called me out in front of some customers about an item I didn't understand. I've only been there for several weeks or a few weeks. Down in front of them, like, really kind of humiliating me in public in front of people. And that was the day where I got it, because I had seen her do it to other people. And I kept thinking, hey, I'm going to get around this. She's not going to do it to me. You're wrong. Eventually they get you. And she did it to me this day. And it was really embarrassing, but I held my head up, and I, you don't freak out in front of people. I just kind of took it. I was in the military and stuff like that. I got a fairly thick skin, but it was really rude, man. It was really rude. And so that was kind of the day I knew I was in some trouble there, because it's hard for me to fake it too. It's hard for me to fake, hey, how you doing, girl? Or whatever, when I know what's within there, and I know what I'm dealing with, so it's crazy, man. She even had cameras throughout the store. And when she was home, she'd be watching us on camera and texting us like, don't sit down. Shouldn't you be doing something? Stuff like that. Just really random stuff. And it was getting weird, man. So all that stuff happened this past weekend. I was off for a few days. I went into work yesterday to start, and she fired me right there. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, we're going to get rid of you, or we're going to let you go because we don't think you understand our products. Meanwhile, they're telling me how awesome I am. I've got the numbers up. So again, this isn't some sob story. I'm just showing you that these spiritual type attacks are real, and that's the way I see everything. It is in the spirit. We're fighting against spirits and principalities. And that's what we're dealing with. It's not like, oh, you're mean to me, you're just a mean person. No, it's not that. It's like, this person has inside bad things, and all you can do is just really pray for protection. It's strange, because I was sitting there thinking about the manifestations of the Holy Spirit, and we're told that we're supposed to be able to cast out demons. And that's where I was kind of like laughing on the way home a little bit after leaving there, after she fired. And I was cool with it. I was okay, good. And I also immediately, like, I learned my lesson. I wasn't working for a while there near the end when YouTube was going dry. I was broke, and I was starting to worry about things. I wasn't focused. But now it's like I'm back in the same situation almost, but I'm not freaking out this time. It's like, now when I see a door closed, I'm going to start looking for the window that God's going to open. I know something good's going to come out of it. So that's my attitude. I'm just trying to keep it like that right now. you know. I still have the website. I still have some patrons on there. I appreciate everyone who's donating to the Patreon. I'm going to start immersing myself more into work right now. I just want to start getting more videos out, and now that I got the time, and I'm going to start looking for maybe just something a little more part-time, like another cleaning job. I've done some cleaning in the past too. Just basic, quiet stuff, make a few extra dollars, just enough to balance everything out, and then just kind of roll with that. I mean, I'm going to try. That's what I'm praying for, and we'll see how it goes. So plan right now, because I miss being on here. I miss doing my videos. There's so much stuff I see all the time, and I want to talk to you guys about, and but I'm rambling. So let me jump over here for a little bit and chat and just really start saying hi to some people here. Thanks again, y'all, for being here. It's nice to see you in there. Thanks, Twit. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Sheriff Sludden, how are you? Web Pro. Hey, Justnet Jr., good to see you. Thanks. I'm glad you're checking out the site. I appreciate it. What else we got here? Bob, how you doing, man, from OKC? Sorry if I missed anybody. I'm just kind of bouncing around. Hey, Brian Burke, good to see you, man. It says, please talk as fast as chat. Yeah, right. Good to see you, man. Daniel Washburn, how you doing, Daniel? Good to see you, man. Jamie B, what's up? Good to see you. Corey Carlson. Beatrice, what's up? Good to see you. Toby, hi. Tom, how are you, man? Robert Snap. Narcissist Resistance, that's a cool name. Thanks for being here. Joshua, how you doing, man? I'm glad you're tuning in live. I'm going to do this for a little bit. Sorry if it seems a little slow, but this is what I like to do, man. I mean, this is just going to be a show with me and you guys tonight. I'm trying to catch you up with kind of what's been going on and where I've been, and like really living it, man. Like I said, really going through it, and it's interesting. And it's, like I said, it's a weird experience kind of being back in the real world again, yeah, and working these jobs. And I just, type soul, I am. And I know some of you out there are too. And you can even use the term empath. I've talked about that in the past too. And there are Christian empaths. It's not just some new age type thingy. The people around us, you can almost sense a person's soul. You can almost pinpoint their sins. I mean, it's crazy. I know some of y'all feel this way too sometimes. Just sensitive to this stuff. You know what I mean? And so when you're around people that have, bad energy, if you will, and they manifest in the form of course, like narcissism or psychopathy, histrionic disorder, things like that. It's like, that's how these spirits manifest to me. Science says it's something else. It's all in the brain, but I think it's all in the spirit, So let's see what else we got here in the chat. Mika, good to see you, Mika. King of Kong, nice to see you, King. Thanks for being here. Mia Meezy, thanks, Mia, for being here and for modding too. Paulo, hi, Paulo. Let's see what else we got here. To see you, man. Moving on down, what else we got here? To see you, Cartoons Exposed. What's up? Jenny Bean, good to see you. Midwestern Supernatural. About YouTube and Google. Yeah, I know. And I wasn't going to do like a live or a video about that either. Like I said, I've got a video coming out called First the Statues, Then the Churches. And I've been working on this off and on. Even when I was working, I was trying to put some things together. And I'll put some of this in there because it's interesting. It has to do with just the state of where we're at, how close we're getting to this fully realized, police state, New World Order type system. So I'll put in some of that Google, YouTube censorship stuff, but I didn't want to do just a video on it. I don't know, maybe I should have. I don't know. It needs to be talked about. I guess people need to know about it. But something I noticed is that they took the monetization off all of my catching up shows. It's weird. And some other videos and stuff. But then on a couple videos, it went back. They came back and they left them yellow instead it had been reviewed. And then 24 hours later, they turned green again. That was another thing where I'm thinking, am I looking at the system doing this, or am I looking at this through spiritual eyes? Could this be our Heavenly Father helping me Maybe that's what other people need to do who are trying to make a living off of, I know it sounds funny, we did it for a long time, but make a living off trying to, talk the truth or share your truth, something that may not be, you know, something the mainstream wants out there. If you feel like that's your calling, then maybe you should pray and say, look, even though YouTube's against us and the system's doing this, if it be in your will, Father, can I still somehow make an income off of this, or something else, whatever it takes, but can I still somehow just focus on this work? And then see what happens, because God can turn those yellow buttons to green if God wants to. Yeah, God can do it all. So I don't know, just a thought. I'm throwing it out there. I know, cuckoo. KJ's crazy, right? Scrolling on down. Let's see what else we got here. Lots of people in the house, man. Thanks, guys, for being here. Nice to see everybody. Hi, Tammy. And still scrolling down some. 72nd Human, always a pleasure. And let's see what else we got here. Peculiar perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the very top. Let's see. Hey, Mark Ruiz, he says, what do you think about these storms? Sheesh. I guess the biggest story for me out of the storm, aside from the pictures, they showed some pictures where it was like highways looked like the ocean. It was crazy, But there was that Joel Osteen thing. It really blew me away, I know it was a big mainstream story, but caught lying about that, He totally got caught lying about, having his doors open on the first day and everything else, because that post remained. People screenshotted that post they put up saying that they weren't going to open and there was flooding. But, again, that's another great example of the difference between, quote, Christians like that, more religious Christians, or what I call maybe the Pharisees, modern Pharisees, and then those of us that really believe and follow and try, like we're really trying to live this. I mean, there's a difference. It's like followers of Christ, right? There's a difference than that and just being religious or being, clicked into some dogma. And the dude's super wealthy too, so it's just, and his wife is to me, she's a total Jezebel spirit. And there's a lot of that you'll find. I watch when I see some of these mainstream big TV preachers like that, the men will be kind of like simps or cucks, if you will, or kind of wimpy. And then the women are like usually beautiful and really strong, just very strong personalities and a presence. And that goes back to, to the Jezebel. It goes back to the actual Jezebel. Is a very similar situation, ruling the land, through the king. So something to think about, but that's just what I see. But yeah, it's horrible stuff. It's interesting, of course, maybe a sign of the floods of Noah. First thing too, you think about when you see that, it reminds me of the floods of Noah, and maybe some kind of a symbol for what's to come. And we know that when Christ returns, it's not going to be a flood, and it's going to be with fire, right? So that's why all this talk of nuclear weapons and World War III, it's all very interesting how it's all kind of shaping up, Some more. Thanks for the question, sir. And what else we got? Hi, Joshua. Thanks, sir. Sam McGee, it's been a while. Nice to see you. Joe Cole Flyer. Great to see you, bud. Thanks for being here. And April Hare, man, I love it. I haven't seen some of y'all in so long. Twitwood again. Great to see you, Twit. Man, it's just, it feels like old friends again. Tina, how you doing, Tina? Like, gosh, it's been away so long. I forgot what a great group of people we got here. So thanks again. And if y'all have any questions or anything you want to discuss, any topics, we haven't been around in a while, so throw anything up that you want to talk about. Because I've been keeping track of things the best I can, but like I said, even working that job, I would get home and just be exhausted. So I kind of fell into the cycle of just work, sleep, that I know a lot of people are in, and it sucks. It's just, you suddenly become a cog in a machine. That's how it felt to me. All right, still scrolling down. Let's see what else we got here. Down some. Child of Yah, nice to see you, Child of Yah. What else we got? Bob Hammond, Enemy of the State. All right, give me a second. Why am I having trouble scrolling down so much? It's been a while since I used this. Okay, let's do that. So I just clicked the thing where it speeds it up, and then I get caught up to the top. So let me see what I got going on here. And I've got a few interesting articles I wanted to share too. So if we get to a point, I may jump off and do that for a little bit. Hey, Realize, how are you? How you doing? Good to see you. So we may do that, and we'll just kind of go from there. I've got some really cool stories I've kind of put to the side. And like I said, I'm putting some videos together, man. I've got some cool stuff coming. Check out the website. I got a Patreon there if you're interested. Check that out. I can do videos there that I can't do anywhere else. I recorded some stuff. Like I can record things and actually from TV, and I can use visuals because I'm not using Google Ads on the site, and I can just put up what I want to. But I showed people the opening sequence to the TV show Preacher from last Sunday. And it's the way they portrayed Jesus Christ in that. It's pretty rough stuff. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's really shocking. He's basically a liar. He's like a philanderer, or whatever. He's not a philanderer, a fornicator. He opens up, he's having sex with this girl, and they're doing every position they can. And, the apostles show up at the door and he lies to them about what he was doing. I mean, it's just like it's really bad. And then later in the show, they have a 25th generation of Jesus' son from that night. And he's like full on physically and mentally handicapped, and even looks kind of wild. And they call him Humperdew. And, he just pee-pees himself a lot and humps people. I mean, this is the way they portrayed Christ. And they added in that story of the Christ lineage and all that. But, it's rough stuff, but hey, it's television. It's just entertainment, right? It's nothing to get freaked out about, right? I guess. Yeah, it was rough stuff, man. So let's see what else we got here. Chris Von Doom says the biggest satanics are Christians. Kind of, I think. I don't know. Some, elements they're more pagan, but pagan to me it's all associated under the same umbrella. So in that respect, perhaps, sure. Yep. Without knowing it, though. They don't know. Let's see what else we got. Friend of the Light. Hi. Says, hey, KJ, love your show. Thank you. I love the Groxt. I do know NASA is lying to us. Yeah, well, all those organizations are lying, but I don't think they're all lying 100% all the time. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be effective. There has to be some truth, right, to pull you into the deceptive part of the message they want to get out to you. It's not all just lies. I never do the blanket statement thing, not that you were, but I've seen people do that before. NASA just cannot be trusted. Nothing is true. Nothing is real. And it's like, no, man, there has to be some truth. The best lies, right, have a lot of truth and just a little bit of deception, because even if it's 1% deception, that 99% is still a lie, right? None of it just washes out. It's a lie. You're still being lied to overall. But there's just enough of that truth to pull you in. So, yeah. Emma, dear, nice to see you. Emma, thanks for being here. It's been a while. Yeah, she said outpouring of everyday Joe's generosity, taking their boats down to Houston has been amazing. Yeah, I agree. There have been some beautiful stories coming out of there, too, People are really pulling together. It's so interesting when you watch footage like that from Houston, and there's all these people helping each other, and it's black, white, brown. None of that stuff matters, man. People are all loving on each other and being cool and helping out, each other and loving their neighbors. But you turn on like CNN or some of these other news channels, and it's all that Antifa stuff and all black versus white and Nazis and trying to put us into those two camps and then turn us against each other. And it's just like what Albert Pike, famous 33rd degree Freemason, wrote in his right, and the Third World War. He talked about exactly what's happening right now with these communist type groups, and ultimately this is all going to be turned against Christians. And this is spoiler territory for my video, so I'll just stop there. But this is kind of one of the subjects I'm getting into in my new video too. But I see that, you can see it all kind of happening this way. Christianity will be next. Somehow they're going to associate it together. This is just the beginning stage of this. It's going to grow, and more groups will be pulled in with what's considered unacceptable, and no good in this new world order. And, we're seeing it happen right before our eyes. It's pretty crazy. So let's see what else we got down here. Ryan Burke, Angela Martin. Hey, how you doing? Chris Von Doom again says, demons, clones prefer Christians. Chris Von Doom, you silly goose. Let's see what else we got here. Mary Quinn. Hi, Mary. Search one. Good to see you, Search. Yeah, that's a good one. It says, did you see the McGregor and Mayweather Freemason handshake? And this is also not the handshake, but just the fact that happened, the way they built it up, also plays into this race war psyop stuff. Black versus white. Yeah, I think Black Child just did a video on that, and I love Black Child and I watch all his videos, but that was a good one. He showed the McGregor and Mayweather Freemason handshake after the fight, and everything was cool. It was a perfect Freemason handshake. I can't remember which shake that is. Entered Apprentice, or I don't know. Anyway, but it's one of them, and he shows it really well in the video. So there you go. I mean, everything is, you could say staged. I mean, I watched the fight. I don't know how staged it was. I mean, it looked legit. It doesn't mean everything's going to be fake, right? Maybe they said, well, let's really have the fight. Who knows? Or maybe a bunch of Masons put up money on some result, and then they gave them the exact result all their Freemason friends had money on. I mean, I don't know. These things are possible. So let's see what else we got here. Nice to see you, Michelle. Been a while. Ryan in NC says, I see 11:11 and 11 minutes past the hour all day. Yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing that's been really kind of helping me in my own kind of walk over the last several months is however bad things have gotten, my 111s have been exploding. Like I've just every day now I'm seeing multiple, and I'm picking up my phone more and more right at 111 and not realizing it, or just how it comes in different ways, man. I mean, I'll be looking up videos on YouTube and I'll find one and I'll click it and it's got 111 views and stuff like that. It's always there. And I made a video back in 2012 called I See 111 Everywhere. What does it mean? And it's all about that. And that's been with me for years now. I was just talking to a friend about this recently that I think that was maybe that whole 2012 ascension thing. A lot of the New Agers thought were going to happen. Maybe it was actually like more a time where the, if you will, the veil really started to lift, and then more people's spiritual gifts started coming in more and things like this. I don't know, I'm just hypothesizing, but maybe because that's when my 111 started, and it started in a big way. I mean, I've had some crazy synchronicities with it. So, but anyway, it's been coming back really heavy here lately. And I always attribute it back to our Heavenly Father. I always look at it like it's God just kind of saying hi, or like a reminder that He's there, for me. I guess I keep it simple like that. I see a lot of, really wild speculation and theories on what it could mean and all this. I don't know, but I just kind of stick to the basics. I know it's coming from our Father, and it always gives me hope when I see it, so it's been nice to see it more and more lately. And how about you guys out there? I mean, any of you out there see the 111s or the 1111s, and you see them so often that it just can't be a coincidence? There's something there. Well, there's a whole community of us that have been seeing this stuff for a long time, so it's real. And some people see other numbers as well. There was like even the so-called Nazi guy, and I guess maybe he really was a Nazi, I don't know, but that drove his car through that crowd in Charlottesville, right? Was it Charlottesville? I think it was. So his tag was 1111. I mean, I don't really know if it means anything, but I remember noticing that. I was like, oh, weird. I don't know. I wouldn't want to taint what the 111s and 1111 might actually be by that, but I just an observation. So I'm rambling, and this is what I do sometimes. Jacko, good to see you, Jack. Sherry Sunshine says that's because they're trannies. See, I was going to talk about that too. A while back, I said, I'm not saying you're doing this, Sherry, but some of these people are trannies. I put up a video over on my website. It's new footage of Michelle Obama walking out of a building, and she's holding her privates basically in her hand, like you can see it, and she lets go. And as she's walking on the steps, I mean, you can see it. You can see the movement. It's pretty obvious. So there you go. Now that one shouldn't be too much of a surprise for anybody out there, I would think. Well, I'm so used to it, to that theory, and I believe what the reality is of that. It's a Baphomet. It's what it is. There's Baphomets abound. More and more of these transsexuals are becoming mainstream in all these different areas, and those are Baphomets. But I thought that was interesting. Oh, the tranny thing. So, there's different little psyops that pop up on YouTube, and they have for years. And that's the one thing. Not only are you on a system that's outright hostile towards you, we're on a system now with YouTube and Google that doesn't like us. I mean, it shows us that time and time again. It shows us that. But then you've got to deal with all the other creepers and weirdos and freaks on YouTube who, whatever, they come out, they stalk you, they, get into your comments section, just weirdos. There's little creepers. And then you've got the paid government trolls who are doing that stuff on top of that. And then you've got the people who are pushing, which is probably a government psyop, but you got the people pushing all these different things that just take away from anything else happening in the world. It's like they want to put you in this one box, this one category. Like everyone's a tranny. I'm seeing that one lately. Or Hitler was a good guy, or he was misunderstood. Preacher TV series, they show Hitler in hell, and the way they wrote the show, he turns out to be a good guy, literally. Like he's really not such a bad guy, the way the show portrays Hitler. So again, this is all satanic stuff. There was a good guy crap all over YouTube and comment sections. Always ghost channels, have no workup, blank channels. The flat Earth stuff's still there, really heavy, all over the place. It's all that stuff. It's these really divisive topics that kind of have to pull you fully into it. And then like there's nothing else people are focusing on, like all the other signs around us right now. Madness. But anyway, I'm going to keep scrolling down and just saying hi to people, and we're just going to chat. Does that sound cool to you guys? So Linda Holly says, I am terrified of my son to marry a Jezebel. God warns men many times not to fall away from the power of a beautiful woman. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people out there that hypothesize that the devil's a woman, like a beautiful woman. That's part of the deception we've been given, is that, or a Baphomet, a half and half. I mean, right? Perhaps. But the devil definitely comes in the form of a beautiful woman. And you've seen that. There was that Brendan Fraser movie where I can't remember the girl's name. It was a beautiful lady, but she played the devil. And, we've seen that idea out there before. But yeah, because a beautiful woman will bring practically every man to his knees, so to speak. Because we've all been programmed that way too. And plus, it's just a part of our genes, to look for that. Look for beauty, right? And youth. And it's been perverted in this world now. So, of course, yeah. When you watch that channel, which I try not too much, I did a video on this, but on Investigation Discovery, I'll watch some of these crime shows sometimes still. And it's like so many times it's these little Jezebels, these narcissists, these beautiful, beautiful women. And, they'll be talking about how great the sex was with her and all this stuff. I mean, they're very sensual. Right? They can get you that way easy through the sex. Beautiful women, man, just giving you whatever you want and all of your sexual desires, right? But then the mask drops, and then you find out what you're in for. They'll destroy your life, some of these people. There's a show I watch sometimes called 90 Day Fiance. It's really interesting to me. And I've been watching this season now for a while, and there's this guy that got a Russian bride, and she's exactly what we're talking about. Like she straight up admits she used him for his money. If he doesn't have money, she's not having sex. She's like 20 years old or something. Really, I guess to some a beautiful woman, not to me, now that I've seen the show and see how wicked she is inside and dark. But it's a good example of that. So you can check that out. Maybe some of you guys have seen that. You know what I'm talking about. But this poor schlub, I mean, put himself in the position in the first place, thinking with his other head, really. He brought this hot chick over, was putting up pictures in bikinis and sexy all this. Fell in love with her, or lust with her, paid all this money, brought her over, and she's humiliated him. She's even kicked him out of his own house now. So he's a cuck, as the kids say. He's a cuck. He's a cuckold. He's a cuck. It's kids in their crazy terms. But I like that one. It kind of fits, It kind of fits some of these people. So I'm going to keep scrolling down. I see Tom Steele is here. Nice to see you, sir. The Beaver is here. He says, He says, KJ, have you ever personally witnessed demonic manifestations? I mean, yes, I feel I have in people. But again, like if you tell someone what happened, they'll be like, oh, they're just, wigging out or having a bad day, or they drank too much, they had too many spirits, or they were just high, or, whatever it is. People will make excuses for it and not look at it as a spirit working through a person. Because we're battling against spirits and principalities. And you can say inherently we have the good and the bad inside of us. A lot of people take it from that angle as well. So which side of you is actually manifesting? Have you accepted Christ? Have you been freed from having to give in to the dark temptations and the dark side of yourself, or the darkness that may be in there from outside, using you as an avatar, if you will, controlling your actions through your mind? Because I believe that Christ is the only way to save yourself from that bad side of yourself, to be free, from that, to be fully protected and to have the Holy Spirit within. Of that, I think people get spiritual eyes, whether they realize it or not. So think of it even when you're dealing with the people around you in your life. Ask yourself, what spirit operates through this person? What is this, the Holy Spirit, this person I'm seeing? Is this something wicked? It doesn't mean they're going to be perfect and awesome all the time. I mean, you can discern these things because we all have issues and we all have bad days. Doesn't mean you have a demon in you, or anything like that. Not everybody, but so we discern these things. We be reasonable. But anyway, that's the way I see it. So I would say yes. I mean, I have. Now I haven't seen monstrous shadows grow, or anything like that. Never seen, or black smoke, moving around in a room, or a black goo coming out of my faucet. I've never seen anything like manifest like that. But in people, I feel I see there's the spirit sometimes. That's what I think. But hope that helps, man. Thank you for the question. Hi, Dave Ayodele. I think that is Ayodele. He says, please look into investing in cryptocurrencies. Oh, SGT report talked about some of this. He says, buy them and hold them, not to trade them. In 6 months, your financial situation will be greatly improved. Well, thanks for the advice, man. I'm going to keep scrolling on down. Let's see what else we got here. Kelly H says, I want to like other media platforms, but so far I can't. Do you have plans to use any other video apps? I'm on Minds. I'm on VidMe. What I'm going to start doing on VidMe, now that I have more time on my hands, I'm going to start moving all my videos from YouTube over to VidMe. I've been putting up original things there. I've also put up a lot of videos there that I can put over on my website, like keep it off the site and just kind of mirror it there. So I'm going to start doing that. But that's about it for me now. I don't know. I've thought about Twitch and some of these other areas people are going. We'll see. I'm not sure, but hope that helps. Let's see what else we got here. Gawani Pony 3 says, Satanists are not Christians. If they say they are all liars. Be as wise as serpents. Just because someone calls themselves Christian, that has to be tested to be true. Their fruit must be evident. Good point. Yep, good point. All right, still scrolling down. Let's see what else we got here. Charlottesville. Yeah, thanks. Pull you, says. Charlottesville. Ron Laster, man. Nice to see you, Ron. Thanks for being here. Still scrolling down. Rodney Sawyers says, I went to a bar with some friends just for wings. We was talking about religion at our table. The bartender asked for us to go, and I went to pay. She just said, go, get out. We were stunned. Crazy world. Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, really, though, sadly, it's not that surprising. It is surprising, but I mean, it's just, to me, another sign of the times. That's what we're up against, that spirit. We see it. Lucifer has his own freaking TV show on Fox where he's a rock star, man. He's awesome, right? He's got it all. Up about that as well. Not just him, but that idea. So, And then Christians are looked at as weirdos, nerds, neo-Nazis, creeps, freaks. Joel Osteen hasn't helped the cause, but that was probably all a part of why he did it. These, I think, Masonic preachers, Masonically connected preachers, mainstream preachers. And I think part of their job in these end days is going to more and more make Christians look like a-holes, or idiots. We'll see. Keep your eyes peeled. I watched something with Jim Bakker a little while back where he's got basically those big, like, plastic vats, and they're filled with food, like stuff, like a big vat, like, I don't know, 5-gallon type little vat thing filled with like beans and stuff like that, or like, chili. And they're sitting there popping it open, it's spilling over the sides, and they're trying to sell this to the people to get ready for the end days. And it's laughable. But I'm sure they're making millions of dollars. And Jim Bakker's another kind of a cuck. He's weak. He's a simp. He's a beta. He's whatever you want to call it. But he's just a weak kind of a person, kind of a man. And then his wife is much stronger and a very, pretty lady. So there you go. Jezebel again, I think. So I will not be buying a vat of chili from Jim Bakker anytime soon. Hope you guys don't either. Gray Fox V3, so I'm thinking 8. Gray Fox says, KJ, the tribulation has begun. The old ones are here. The firmament has been breached. KJ, the tribulation has begun. The old ones are here. The firmament has been breached. Okay. Groovy. Still scrolling down here. Trying to take my time and see what's up with y'all guys. I appreciate you hanging with me. We haven't got a chance to do one of these in quite a while, like this, where I can just kind of hang out with you, scroll down, post what you want. If it's something I think we're cool with to get into, we'll talk about it. I'll read it here on air. I guess we're on air. Yeah, we're kind of on air. Says Gray Fox coming back with the same message again. Copy that, sir. Hope for Truth says it's NextRad and land-based condensation plants controlling these storms. There is no doubt. Weather Wars 101. Channel urgent viewing. Get ready, people. Thanks. And what else we got here? Emma, thanks. I missed the live chats too. I really missed it. I got great mods. Thanks a lot for y'all being here tonight. I appreciate you. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Jason Knight. I think I said hi. If not, good to see you, man. Kentucky girl, good to see you. Somebody says, am I hiring? Are you hiring? No, I don't know what I'll hire for. Yeah, Hari, Hari, says 5G control grid. Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff on that. SGT report was talking about the 5G control grid as well. I've seen a lot of videos on that, so maybe I'll include that in something else too. It's good information, and it's good other people are covering it. Let's see what else we got here. Scrolling on down some. And I may get into one of my weird stories here, but I pulled to the side a news story and tell you guys here in a little bit. I found some cool ones. Hi, Mika says, have you seen Steam It yet? Yes, I have. It's another one I've been considering. So thanks for asking. And let's see here. Mia Montero. Man, good to see you, Mia. Thanks for being here again. It's a good friend I've had for a long time on here. ER Jambo 67. Hi there. All right. Still going to scroll down. Free Spirit says, are you going to share the important news? To me, I don't know. You may not have been listening for long. The show's called Catching Up with KJ, so we got a really cool community here of people. I've been away for a long time, so I'm trying to catch up with them, I mean, that's what's more important to me right now than the news. And I cover news and stuff, and there's some stories I may get into here in a while. I mean, right now the news can come from you. What do you want to cover? Talk about it here on the side, and we'll get into some things, or share something interesting, share some news or whatever, All my shows have been different. I change them up quite a bit from time to time, but this is how my show started, was just this right here, man. Me just going through the chat, talking to you guys, answering some questions and discussing whatever y'all want to discuss. Boring you, I think there's some other live shows up right now. You can probably go check them out and you get some real hard-hitting news, some real news. But for now, man, we're just catching up. I'm catching up with the good people that spend their time watching my videos and jumping in on these chats. And, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm good with it, you know? So I'm rambling is what I do. Everybody together says, happy to see you. Hey, thanks, man. Good to see you. Barry White screams in all caps, Pizzagate is Israel. So, okay. Good to know. Leslie Lewis says, Taylor Swift's newest video, Look What You Made Me Do, is major satanic. Yeah, totally. I saw that one too. And it's like I said, I may start doing more of those again. But, I was doing that stuff years ago. And again, I'm not trying to, act like the OG here. But I mean, I was covering those kinds of subjects like years ago, like more like, the videos one at a time and everything, this one and what was in that show. But then, this whole thing blew up. Now, I wasn't the only one doing this back in the day. There were others. I'm just saying that I've seen it evolve, this whole kind of truth movement or, Christian truther movement or the awake movement, where people, their eyes are open and they can see this. So now you've got like tons of people on YouTube who are catching all this stuff. I mean, if you look up that Taylor Swift Illuminati in the search engine, I bet you'll just get pages upon pages of people covering her new video. And, most of those you watch, there'll be something new you'll find in each one. Unfortunately, the rest of them are going to be just copycats of the same stuff. Look, the symbol here, and this means that. But there's still people doing that can keep it interesting and original. So, when I've been for so long, been doing these videos where I put more into it. Some of my videos used to be a lot longer, but I just try to pack them full of stuff. But, I feel like uploading more, now, now that I had to go to work for a while and it sucked. But so we'll see what happens. But yes, definitely. If you guys haven't seen the new Taylor Swift video, check it out. Major so-called Illuminati symbolism, really just satanic. And we're kind of beyond the Illuminati thing. It's just straight up Satanism. It's all about her. It's the good girl gone bad stuff. They've been doing this for a long time, right? The artist always starts off as, this good, sweet girl next door, the little girl next door. Little cutie, wearing something all innocent and sweet. And then it's not too long before they're in, leather pants wearing a dog collar and licking champagne out of a dog bowl or something in a video, So I'm just drinking iced tea tonight too, so don't worry, guys. It's not going to get too crazy, okay? So let's see what we got here. I'm going to keep scrolling down here a little bit. Someone's asking if there's any millennials in the house. And says, can we talk about how people with a world population of only 14 million can wield so much power on Earth? Well, it all goes back to way back. I mean, thousands of years of, back to the Masonic or secret society system, because there's a bunch of different secret societies, but how they've been basically passing on all these, mystery religions, all these things from Nimrod and, spells and incantations and, real occult magic. They've been keeping all these secrets for a long time. They've been preparing for these antichrists, throughout the years too, and prepare, the last one world order for the final stand, for the end time, end all, son of perdition, another antichrists, but this will be the antichrist. So, and it's intimidation. These are ways that they keep their secrets. It's intimidation. It's all kinds of scandal. They get information on these people. They put them in compromising positions, probably at parties with a lot of drinking and drugs and video of it. And these people are in their back pocket. They have to keep some people in line that way, these secret societies. Some people break free. They try to tell some truth. And then that's when you find their kid gets killed somehow mysteriously, or they're hanging in a shed now. They had a great life, but for some reason they went out to a shed, they hung themselves. It's happening. Right. So that's how they do it. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. At the end of the day, it's all witchcraft. We're literally fighting against witches, warlocks, Satanists, evil spirits. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. especially when you don't even think of life like that, and then you wonder why life blows, at this point, why everything's going bad and going crazy. We don't realize what it is. And just because we're God's kids, just because some of us have accepted Christ and decided to try to follow, it doesn't mean life's going to be puppy dogs and ice cream. Sometimes it's the opposite. You're really going to be tested, and bad things are going to come for you, bad people sometimes. But that's where we build our relationship with our Father, and we get our protection, and I feel we always win these battles in the end, but sometimes you've got to fight some pretty bloody wars, So let's keep scrolling down here and see what else we've got. Therese Simon says, Scotland, hey there, great to see. Oh, sorry, she's talking to somebody else. Sorry for intruding on your conversation. Let's keep scrolling down here. Still scrolling down. Nice to see you. She said, now that I've asked all my questions, we'll see if I get some feedback. So I must have missed your questions. Let me see if I can find one back here. Jubilee. No, I don't see it. Mine didn't go back that far. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see any questions from you. You could ask some again, I guess. Thanks. All right. So I'm going to keep scrolling down here. Leslie Lewis says Katy Perry's cannibal video is evil. Yeah, just more in-your-face stuff. I mean, that's after all the Pizzagate stuff come out and all the stuff about Marina Abramovic and the spirit cooking that all these celebrities are a part of and all the nasty, basically cannibalism taking place, even mock cannibalism, but even I think some real cannibalism too. Blood drinking, she does a lot of that in public too. But all that stuff blew up, right, with Pizzagate. Like it got all over the place, and now this is their answer. They put it, in Katy Perry, in a Katy Perry video, her getting cooked, the cannibal thing. And that's them laughing at you. It's them laughing at us because they don't think they can be touched. They're basically saying, you can't do anything about this. And I bet after they made that video, a bunch of them that are in the know were like, let's go on YouTube and see how many people made videos about how evil this video is. And no doubt they're that self-aware. Jeremy Whitman says all roads lead to Rome, not Israel. Jason Knight says that show Lucifer is disgusting. Yep. Once again, it's just mocking Christians for sure. Mary Quite says, hi KG, are you familiar with the Living Dead dolls and what they are used for? I'm familiar with them. I think, are they the little dolls that all look like, Hot Topics? They look like different kind of, they're slutty, but they're also kind of creatures or whatever. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure. But, let me know. I'm guessing that's probably what you're talking about, the Living Dead dolls. So let's see here. Peculiar Perspective says, do you think they are culling the homeless and less fortunate through Hurricane Harvey and other natural disasters? Man, that's one of those theories I'm really interested in. I saw that video someone put up a few days ago about a homeless man that they were killing the homeless, like in one of the shelters out there. That's why he didn't want to go be a part of it. But near the end of that video, he also said he was a police officer. So again, are you dealing with somebody who's just, kind of off? Truth. And he didn't look crazy, right? He wasn't acting crazy. But then it makes you wonder. It is interesting. I mean, if I were a bad guy, like if I were a killer, or if I ever had those kind of impulses to go try to do something evil like that, it seems like a natural disaster would be a perfect time to go ahead and at least go scout out the area, maybe find an opportunity and then take advantage of it, And to think that there's so much demonic activity in our world now, and I really believe that. And so many people are just, allowing this stuff in through different portals we talk a lot about without realizing it. They have these things in them. It's kind of crazy to think, isn't it? If anything, it's a miracle there's not more creepers out there in those situations, killing people and robbing and stuff, but it's interesting to think about. But I'm just not sure how real it is. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a perfect opportunity, that complete and total chaos, for some of these people to let the mask slip, let the monster come out, and then just go and do whatever, wickedness they're wanting to get into. Creepy, really. Creepy. Hi, Leah Lynn. She says September 23rd, KJ. Well, I've never been one of those guys that's big into that stuff. There are people I respect, though, that are watching that date, maybe not for an actual rapture or catching away, but maybe for some kind of a sign of something. Who knows? I don't know. I really just take it day by day. It's the way I've always been about it. There are some interesting theories this September 23rd, but all I know is that, especially after being, back out in the world again, I sound like some cave dwelling troll. I went back out in the world, and now I'm back in the cave. But really, it almost felt like, not like being a troll, but it felt like just, being in the world again, meeting a lot of new people, and but now that I've done that, I just feel it, in the air. Like I said, I know what season it is, and I see these things manifesting more in human beings. I feel like the good, the bad, the light of the dark. I feel the energy, the different subjects people talk about, the things they get into. I just so feel sometimes it's really close, I don't know. Filter myself and not even say that on these shows, but I don't, I want to be honest. I really feel like whatever it is, it's close. That he's getting close, This is the most I've felt it in all the years that I've been doing the kind of work I do and exploring the ideas we do. And I've never felt it this strongly, that I just feel something, it's coming soon. Like maybe Christ really is coming really soon, Maybe that's the uptick of my 111s again. I don't know, but it makes me wonder. So I've really, like I said, man, I've learned. He showed me so much this last few months. Like I said, even weaknesses in myself, man. I thought I was doing pretty good. I thought I had this down pretty good, this walk. Boy, was I wrong. I had some bad days, man. I had some bad days this last several months, and was just not being myself. I've got this great little cat called Chubbs because he's chubby. Clever, right? Yeah, man, I've screamed at the top of my lungs, and some of those days I was having bad days, and I've never do that. Like I felt really rotten. I was like, oh my gosh, man, what is wrong with me? I'm wigging out. I'm wigging out. I'm freaking out. What's wrong? I was just edgy. I was edgy about everything, so I was feeling it. That spiritual attack. I'm better now. But I really, after all this, decided to really put my full faith back in my Heavenly Father. I'm stop trying to do things my way. Stop trying to reason it out. Holy Spirit within, and genuinely be guided by that voice. That's where I'm at right now. So it got me to do a show tonight. So there you go. We're on the way, right? We're moving up. So something good's happening. So let's scroll on down here. See what else we got going on. Stephen Garden says, hey, KJ from Nova Scotia. Hey, man, thanks for listening from so far away. And still scrolling down. Alba Gamer says, the world has lost its the times of Noah just now. I pray that our Savior returns very soon. Tom Zander says, Jim Baker never learned. It's true. He didn't learn, did he? He got brought down. What else we got here? Leslie Lewis again says, my friend woke up from a sex dream and he said there was a beautiful female spirit on top of him, succubus. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be freaky. No pun intended. Tom Zander says, KJ, have you ever seen the Man on the High Castle series, alternate WW2 Aftermath? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing. And I've covered that in some of my old videos, just bits and pieces, showing how they're bringing back that idea of the Nazis again. And look at where we're at right now. So right there's one of your connections. That's what I put in the video, is they're bringing this idea back. The Nazis are coming back in. They're having more discussions on this. Now we're seeing TV shows. a marketing campaign they did for that series is they took a bunch of subways and buses in out in New York City, and they put swastikas all over them, and they were advertising the TV show, and it was all like Nazi propaganda stuff. So again, do you see how that got into the public consciousness? And this is months before all this Antifa crap and all this. And now look where we're at right now. The Nazis are in the news every night, right? It's like the Nazis. You know, anybody who's right-leaning on anything, now they're a Nazi. So we're starting to see that's. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a great example of the predictive programming. You see? Very eyes. So thanks, Tom. You get a golden star for the day. And no, that's not any kind of occult reference, people. Relax. It's just like the gold star that you used to get when you were a kid in school. I didn't get enough of them, I think. I felt like I needed more, but I never got enough of them. Jason Knight, another good point, man. I'm putting that in a video as well. It's one of the new ones, but they're talking about he took down, or they've taken down the 10 Commandments monument, and they're putting up the satanic one. Like I said, my new video is called First the Statues, Then the Churches. So I'll get more into all that in the video. Betty R, Jim Baker's a tranny. There it is. There it is. I was waiting on somebody. I knew some of you were out there. Hey, right? Let's see. Moving on down here. Scrolling on down. Gander Stein says, KG, do you have thoughts on the Ouroboros, the ancient symbol? Yes, I've put that in a lot of videos as well. Mostly it has to do with the end of time. So, and that goes right into the kind of stuff I do, a lot of the work. You know, it looks like we're really right on the cusp, if not already entering into the age of Aquarius, you know, and that's going to be the last age of man, or the fifth age. Symbolism comes from in a lot of movies and TV shows. But even more interesting, I've got a brand new video. I told you guys I got a few videos coming up to my website tonight and tomorrow. I've already been putting up other videos all week. But one of them I'm doing is that, so like 2 years ago, I did a video called Black Smoke Portals, you know, around the world, sightings around the world. I can't remember the exact title. And that now has over 1 million views. And, you know, because there were people all around the world that were seeing these weird black smoke portals. And I've also debunked the idea that it was just machine made, you know, because I mean, you can do that, but those things fall apart really quick. A lot of these sightings were sitting there like floating, moving up and down, hovering in the same spot for long periods of time. And now they're being seen everywhere, man. It's like Russia, China, of course, all through America, Europe, Ireland or Scotland, one of the two, has been seeing them as well. So I did a compilation recently. I got a bunch of the footage of those, and I'm going to do one of my videos like on my channel where it's a music video, because I like putting a lot of music, like real bands, things I like, things I listen to these things, and the imagery. And I was amazed at how much footage I'd found from all around the world of that stuff recently. And even more interesting, when you really look at it, it almost looks like, instead of just a black ring or a circle, it actually looks like a lot of them, the Ouroboros to me. It literally looks like a black smokish type Ouroboros eating its own tail. A lot of these do. Excuse me. So I thought that was really crazy. And I was actually just thinking about that today. You know, I got to finish the edit on that video. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts off the top of my head on the Ouroboros. JM, hey, at KJ, what's your take on energy drinks? Bad news bears, man. Mostly, I think they're bad news bears. What is it like? Is it literally bull semen they have in Red Bull? I've got a video on the website. Once again, it's a Red Bull commercial that they struck down pretty quick. You know, at least YouTube did. But they're literally putting a 666 up in the crowd when they're cheering this guy on after he drinks a Red Bull, you know? So, and of course, all the symbolism around the Red Bull and all that too. And remember, you know, like when we see these symbols in movies and TV shows, I mean, you know, those old cartoons from like 50, 60 years ago, even like the Popeye type old school black and white cartoons, when someone, you know, is going to poison somebody or something, you know, they'll grab like the bottle with 3 X's on it. It's usually got 3 X's, right? So it's poison, right? It's dangerous. That's a symbol for the poison or for the danger, right? See, when I see so-called Illuminati or satanic symbols and themes in these movies and TV shows, primarily the symbols, and it's the same on shirts and, you know, clothes and food products. When you see it as poison. Understand that it's not good for you. All right. Story now, because there is a language with the symbols. Most of you know that. So that's how I see energy drinks. Like Monster's got the 666 on it, right? You've seen that. So It's right there. They're telling you, unleash the beast. What kind of weird alchemical makeup is in there that I don't know about that could actually somehow create one of those physical type portals, if you will, to allow some kind of wicked energy to either rise up within me or to come into me from somewhere else. I don't know, but I question this stuff. Energy drinks like that also make your bones brittle. If you drink too much of that over a long period of time, they've proven it'll make your bones brittle. So that's not good. They've had young people actually have heart attacks. There was a news story just a few months ago about this. Some young people just taking way too much caffeine, drinking too many of those kind of things, and having heart attacks. But again, they tried to tell you that's lesser magic at play in our world. It's like the whole vampire thing. They got to be invited in before they can come in and kill you. And it has a connection to this witchcraft that we see all around us. So they'll tell you the truth for the symbols, but they expect you to be ignorant. But all these secret societies and whatnot know the symbols, and they share that information with each other. So all these people feel illuminated, enlightened. They feel smarter than the rest of us, right? But ever since the veil started lifting, God woke up people like me and a lot of other people out here in the world. And more as the days go by, that see it for what it is. And we're telling people about it, Lodge and go through some ritual to have people tell us these things, right? So energy drinks, yeah, that's kind of my feeling on those, man. Let's keep scrolling down. Jacob's here, man. Good to see you, Jacob Israel. Love to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Jacob's awesome. Good friend as well. Still scrolling down. Come here, Chubbs. You may hear the cat start talking a little bit here. He's a big talker. The Beaver says everyone on the mainstream news was kissing Joel Osteen's butt after the Harvey allegations. They're all in bed together. See, that's a good way to look at it too, man. If all these fake news, mainstream news channels are pulling for Joel Osteen after all the lies and deception, then they're probably all a part of the same lodge. Everything's run by, 5 corporations? So there's that. All connected to the same groups, Let's see. And still scrolling down here. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty is the name of one channel saying, how's Chubbs? He's awesome. Let me see if he'll talk. Hey, Chubby. Come on. I know he just wants to bite. He's one of those biting type cats. He likes to bite a lot. Hey. I guess not. You just want to bite? Okay, we'll see. Maybe he'll talk to me here in a little bit. I tried. I could squeeze him really hard around the waist, but I don't think that'd be very kind to Chubbs. I'd get a noise out of him, I'm sure, but that's cool. If you're a little one out there and you hear that, please don't do that to your animals or your little brothers and sisters. Don't ever squeeze them real hard around their waist to get a noise out of them. Okay? It's a public service announcement here. Quan Bin Baller, hey, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Let's see what else we got here. Kevin Nowaki, thanks for being here, man. Yeah, okay, Take Me to the Clouds says Twin Peaks this season is amazing. What do you think about Hobo Demons, Remembering Mulholland Drive? Man, I could make a whole movie about this new Twin Peaks series because there's so much in there. And yeah, I've been watching it too. Because I've said in the past, the whole reason I wanted to go to film school and get into that, which I wound up going to film school in my life, was because I saw some David Lynch movies when I was like 15, 16 years old. So I became a huge fan of his vision and his creativity. Now, I don't know much about the man as a person. I think he's kind of a new agey type guy, but clearly when you watch these shows and you understand the things we understand, this guy knows the stuff too. So I don't know if he got this information from the Lodge or what, and he actually has a place right in the show called the Lodge. So, and it's a parallel dimension with kind of wicked entities and all kinds of weird stuff happens there. Evan Alexander, for being here. It's been a long time. Oh boy, I knew the flat would come. We've got the flatters. It says, look, this is Paulo de Melo. KJ, get on board the conversation. You can't understand deception without flat earth perception. Wow, that must be one of the new ones. I guess that's like a bumper sticker. Paulo, man, I hope you're a real person. I don't know. Now I'm questioning it. I'm not sure. I am so not on board with any of that stuff. Not even the conversation. Because as you look, as you wrote, this is the problem I have with flat Earth. You can't understand any deception, is basically what you're saying. I can't understand anything, any of the deception, without a flat Earth perception. So unless I believe in flat Earth, I'm an idiot. I'm a dupe. I'm some schlub. I don't know anything, right? I'm just some dummy. And this is one of the reasons I can't stand that movement, at least here on YouTube. People in two camps, just like the mainstream narrative's trying to do right now. You're either a Nazi or you're against Nazis. But the ones that are against Nazis are actually the violent, wicked ones, right? And the Nazis they're after, what? There's how many of the really Nazis are there in America? How many of these things are set up? I saw some stuff. I'm going to pull this up and maybe make a video for the website on this. But I've seen people from the streets talking about how they've been seeing buses come in where these so-called Nazis and then these Antifa are riding together. So figure that out, right? But again, it's like in Republican and Democrat. It's Coke and Pepsi. They got to put you in one camp so then they can destroy you. They can turn other camps against you and destroy you. And I see that all the time with this flat Earth stuff. Just like Paulo DeMelo, Paulodemelo. I can't look at your channel now. I don't know if you have stuff there, or if you're just another ghost channel, but you're pushing that psyop, man, whether you realize it or not. I don't know if you're one of the 350s. They get like $3.50 an hour for doing stuff like this, or maybe you're an innocent person who fell into this stuff and you believe it wholeheartedly, and that's your thing. I don't know. Problem with this flat Earth stuff. KJ, get on board the conversation. You can't understand the deception without a flat Earth perception. And that's the one thing I see all the time with that. You don't know anything, man. How can I believe anything you say? You're not a flat earther. I see that stuff all the time. I blocked most of them. Probably thousands. Over the years of being on YouTube, I block so fast. I've blocked so many people. Because like I said earlier in the show, man, I see these psyops playing out in the comment sections, It's crazy. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see here. Still scrolling down. Hi, Hope for Truth. Nice to see you. Still scrolling down here. Vanessa 1111, nice seeing you. Thanks. Thank you. Somebody said Elizabeth Hurley. You must have been. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's who was playing the devil in that Brendan Fraser movie. Still scrolling down. Let's see what else we got. Oh, wow, we've gone over an hour already. It's crazy. I'm going to take a quick drink, guys. 1 second, okay? Don't worry, it's iced tea. Hold on. Okay. I'm still waiting on Chubbs to say something. If so, I'll put the microphone down there close to him. And all right, so we're going to keep scrolling down here. Thanks again, guys, for being here tonight, by the way. It's awesome to see you all. Thanks. Like I said, we've gone over an hour, which is nice. I feel like it's gone really fast, at least for me it has. Great numbers too, man. Thanks. I rarely look down at that, but we got a lot of people listening. So around 600 people. So thanks a lot, guys. It really means a lot, man, that you'll take the time to do this. You broke girls right now, okay? But you've chosen to listen to this show, and I think that's a big deal. That is one of the most disgusting television shows I could ever see. I can't even watch it. It's the commercials alone. I thought of doing a compilation with the commercials. Again, I can put that stuff up on the website. Because every commercial would show, and it's on CBS. And the only reason I see the commercials, is because I do watch Big Brother. Some of you know I worked on Big Brother years ago, like season 9 and 10, back with Evil Dick and Danielle. If you remember her or not, or them. But so ever since then, I've watched it. And I worked in reality TV for years, just production level stuff. So I do watch some reality shows, Yeah, I know most of them are goofy and dumb. I get it. But come on, I can't look at this stuff all day, this dark stuff all the time. You got to have a break. But yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, but that's it. So the commercial comes on a lot for the show, or while I'm watching the show in between on CBS. So you'll see the two broke girls, and it's always really filthy stuff. In the laugh track, the audience laugh track, ha 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 ha. You know, and it's just like lowbrow humor. It's just you can see it's a bunch of dudes, you know, writing this stuff, and they're putting into the mouths of a couple of attractive girls, but they dress them up real slutty in the show and stuff, and you know, like there it's all, you know, wiener jokes, you know, and vagina jokes and stuff, and it's like, and these are the commercials, and it's the laugh track. I worked on some shows way back when I was in LA. I also became a member of what is it called? Central Casting. It's in Burbank. It's where you become an extra in TV shows and movies. So I did a lot of extra work too, and you get to see the way these things are working behind the scenes. And I watched, like, one of them was A Sweet Life and Zach and Cody, and you know, it's just crazy. You see them reading off the lines, and they play the laugh track in there after each line, and the jokes are horrible. They're stale, they're stupid, but it just goes to show you that programming, right? Anyway, let's see what else we got. Central Casting is masonry. Well, it might be. I don't know. I mean, I was never approached by them to be a Freemason or anything. I never saw anything like that. It's a long line of young Hollywood hopefuls going into this little building in an industrial area of Burbank, California. They get headshots. You pay like $60 or something. You should get it. You show them your headshot, or you get a headshot. You tell them about any special talents you have, so they can fit you to a show. Like, can you juggle, or you know, are you a singer? You know, stuff like that. And these are the background extras in every movie and TV show you watch. All go through Central Casting in Burbank, California. It's the biggest one out there. Masons, didn't see any Masons, didn't see any checkerboard floors, you know, nothing like that. Yeah. I'm not covering up for the Masons and Central Casting. You know, I was just some dude that, you know, I wanted to meet girls like anybody else. I thought that might be a good way. I'll also meet other people that were into the arts, into writing and directing and acting and stuff, you know. And you make a little money, you know, you make some money when you do the shows, and you get these, I can't remember what they're called, but you can get these certain, like, write up after you work on a show. If a producer likes you, they'll give you one. And if you get 3 of those, you can pay $1,000 and become like a full-time background person, where you get paid like $150 a day. You know, it's one of the, I can't remember what those are called though. It's kind of cool. I didn't do it for all that long, but I did some shows. Let's see here. Still scrolling down. Let's see. Still scrolling down. Kevin Young. Yep. Scrolling down with KJ. Absolutely. Guess I haven't got to do it like this in a while. I like it. You know, it's been a while. Yeah, Kay Eklund says, KJ, it's interesting the movie It is coming out this time of year. I know. That was in my most recent video. I did put a new one up about a week ago called Stephen King's Clowns Have a Message for Us. It is interesting, isn't it? You know, it's all that clown stuff. It's just another manifestation of the wicked spirits that are here, you know, I believe. The movie looks really scary to me. I don't see much that I think looks scary, but it looks like they did a good job with this one. It looks freaky, man. Ben Evans says, give Chubb some tuna. Okay, maybe I will. He eats dry food. I got him on this food I tried a few days ago. It's canned food. He doesn't eat a lot of canned food. But it was called like Gravy Lovers, you know, was the advertisement. Something Gravy Lovers. So I got it out and I gave him some, and it turns out Chubbs does not love gravy. In fact, I think he hates it because he spewed it everywhere just moments after eating it. So it's the last time I give him any Gravy Lovers. I don't think Chubbs is a big fan of gravy, are you, Chubbs? He's just sitting here laying down. It's like when I want him to talk, he won't, you know? All right, so let's keep scrolling on down here some. What else we got? Let's see. Hey, Deb Jones. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Gray Fox, I didn't see your other comment. Thanks, John Collins. Nice to see you. Bobby Boucher, nice to see you, sir. Your perspective, I'm glad you appreciate it, man. I like talking to you guys. Still scrolling down. Gray Fox says Hurricane Irma will hit NYC. Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see, man, what happens with that. Try to pray for people, for that stuff. And definitely, I think that, I know the government's put stuff out on this, but they can control weather, but I just don't know how much of that is at play with what's happening out there right now, or I can't think what their reasoning would be. I don't know. Maybe just distraction. Maybe they're making these weather things worse just to, for more distractions to keep us busy. I could see that. Hey, Beaver, thanks, man. He says, me, Jay Dyer, Nicholson, and a call for an uprising would be a great, best show ever. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Maybe we can all get that together sometime, Yeah, it was really nice. All those guys are great. It was real cool. I get to do that show a while back with Jay, and that was really cool meeting Jay and talking to him. And he's putting out a lot of cool videos still too. So if you don't know Jay Dyer, Dyer, go check out his channel, man. He's good. He's real good. So let's see here. I agree, Ben. I'm a big fan of Enter the Stars. He's a friend of mine. I like him too. What else we got? Still scrolling down here. Leslie Lewis, thanks. Tina Tomasuski says, all I have to do is ask my cats if they want some fancy feast. You practically have to cover your ears because that always makes them meow loud. Nice. Let's see. Moving on down. Still scrolling down. Isabella Maddie says, KG, did you hear about the International Day of Peace? On September 21st, motto is peace and safety. No, but thanks. That's one I'm going to definitely look up after that. That could wind up being a video. I'll see what kind of symbolism is going on there. And there's different things I look at. You want to look up September 21st itself and see if there's any occult holidays connected to that. There's just a whole kind of pattern I go through when I'm making a video or figuring something out. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of occult significance for September 21st. The 21st is a 777. That's interesting. And then the peace and safety, we know that's in the Bible as well. So, who knows, right? I'll have to check it out. You guys too, and let me know in the comment sections, whatever you find. Let's see here. Still scrolling down. Allison L., I knew it. One of you. She says, 2 broke girls are trannies. Huh? They're all trannies. Everyone's a tranny. Watch out. Yeah, that's what it is. Not all of them, but the trannies are the Baphomets. It's a physical manifestation of that, Oh, let's see what else we got here. Somebody asked for thoughts on the MTV. I didn't watch it yet, but I've got it set aside. I was going to check it out and see. Another one, that's Black Child, did a video on it, and he did really good, so. And it seems like, I've done a lot of videos in the past on these award ceremonies and some of the MTV shows too. Check some of mine out. But they've all changed a lot. Like they're not quite as in your face Illuminati or whatever nowadays. Like they're changing it up. Sometimes they're getting a little more subtle, but it still has to be there. Okay, you're still going to find some of this stuff in all these shows because it has to be there. They're just it seems like they're trying to go a little more low profile on some of this stuff. Let's see what else we got. Scrolling down with KJ. I like it. Oh, this is pretty cool. Kind of exciting news. And I'm really bad about keeping up with my messages and all that. Sometimes, like I said, especially the last month or so, it's just work, sleep, and then on the weekends, sometimes during the week, trying to get some videos up on the website and keep it running, and also just getting stuff out I think is interesting. So. Anyway, but I reached out to Gons from Face Like the Sun, and he got back in touch with me over on my Patreon. Now I need to get back in touch with him on Facebook, but it sounds like I'm going to get him on the show, and he and I are going to get a chance to talk. So I'm really interested in that because, I've been wanting to talk to him for a long time. He does really cool work, really good work. he's really good about bringing in a lot of scripture as well. He does a lot of that with his research, and he researches fascinating subjects. So I'm going to reach out to him sometime in the next few days and see if we can't line it up, and then maybe get him on, and just he and I'll have a live chat. And if you guys have questions for us both, you can hit us up with him. But I'm looking forward to that. So I'll let you know. Like something will come out of it. Sound cool? You with me? All right, I'm still scrolling down here. Just Jubilee says, what has everything to do with God? I believe in him, but I am unsure what you were referring to. And she's talking about the 1111s. Well, there's a lot of new age stuff with that, and again, all this new age and all this, to me, it's always there just to co-opt the truth. Truth to me, is God, is Christ, is the word. This is all the ultimate truth. And then you've got all the perversion of religion in this world. Most of us were raised in religion and stuff too, and in a lot of these churches and stuff, but it's the sheep. But there's a lot of weirdness and distortion and even perversion sometimes in a lot of these religious dogmas and laws and stuff, right? So stuff that's out there that makes people think, well, I don't really, like, this is what God is, this is who Jesus is, I want nothing to do with this. And they're really upset at something they should be upset at, which is the falsity of religion. But in our hearts, I think all of us are seeking God, whether we want to admit it or not. I feel like that's just a part of us. Every one of us are really seeking God. Even if you don't want to own it, you don't want to, I don't believe in it, I don't care. But you can say that all day long to us in public, but in private time, when you're all alone, you think about it. You wonder about it. It's because that's been placed in our hearts. I think all of us are looking for God, Something, you want to say something, Chubber? Huh? You say something? Hey. What? All right, nothing. Okay. Maybe later. We'll see. Thought he was close. So that's, yeah. So the 111 thing, I prayed about it, and the way I've seen it work in my life, when it started around 2012, I really feel, like I've said earlier, that it's God it's almost like a reminder. I'm still here. KG, I'm up here. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm still here. And it's also perhaps a warning of how close we are to the actual end. Because that's around the time I really started kicking in, making more videos and stuff, too. It started mattering a lot more to me. And I think a lot of people started waking up heavier around that time. So I see it as a thing from God. That's just my perspective. It's my experience. It's what I see and feel. But, it might not be the same for you or for others. I don't know. Let's see. I just saw something I passed, and I want to jump back here real quick. Like Diana V. Perez, thank you. She said, do you do deliverance in regards to the deep and heavy work you do? Do I do deliverance in regards to the deep and heavy work I do? I'm not sure if I'm interpreting that the right way. Do I do deliverance in regards to the deep and heavy work I do? Well, if what you mean is, like, am I praying for protection and, to God to keep my peace there and all that? Yeah, absolutely. You have to, because it's a lot to bear, even when you pray about it all the time and you ask for, for peace about all these things. Like, you're still in the world. I still have flesh, feelings, emotions, those darn feelings and emotions, if we can only get rid of those, But yeah, so, and I feel it. I feel this work. I'm a sensitive person to all this stuff. I feel it. So yeah, and this is why I'm not ashamed to say I watch some dumb reality shows. There's some things I do that are total matrix. I get it, but I see it. I know what it is. I know better, but it's also dumb entertainment. It's a way to turn off the brain for a little bit. There's different ways I do that. Reading scripture helps me with that as well. Praying helps. Also, just being alone, like out in nature, walking, or I drive sometimes out to the lake alone, stuff like that, Squeezing my cat as hard as I can around the waist to get a noise out of him, that gives me a lot of peace. Just kidding. I don't do that. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. Let's see what else we got here. John Collins says, do you like L.A. Marzulli and Steve Quayle? Yeah, they've definitely been teachers I've seen throughout the years, some of the work they do, and Really crazy about a lot of L.A. Marzulli's work too. Steve Quell's done a lot of interesting stuff on the fallen ones, the Nephilim giants and stuff. L.A. Marzulli talks a lot about, what is it? I can't remember the term he used. It's like the dark rising, or I'm not sure what it was. I can't remember now. But about the darkness rising and others, and satanic, cults and cliques that are killers and things. Really interesting stuff. So yeah. All right, so let's see. We're going to scroll on down a bit here. Just a little bit more. Let's see. Still scrolling down. All right, man. I think I've reached the bottom of it. Let me just click this and see what happens here. Yeah, it's all moving pretty quick now, but I think the Black Awakening, thank you. That's Forest Monk. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. All right, guys, you know what, man? We've done about a good hour and a half, or over an hour and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go now here in a little bit. Before I do, I'm just going to say hi to some people over here in the chat again and make sure I see everybody and said hi and whatnot. But, man, that's what it is. I mainly wanted to do one where I let you know where I've been, what's been going on. Like I'm right back in the same situation I was in before I went to that job. It's funny, but I'm going to have more faith this time. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to listen to the Holy Spirit within. I'm going to be guided. I'm going to bring more work out, because that's one thing I've been really missing, and I really feel the Lord's been putting that on me. Sometimes I'm like, what should I do? What do I talk about? And the next couple of days I start seeing it, and I'll get the video idea. That's what happened with my video on the clowns last week. So I've got several to do, and I'll be working on that. And Chubbs just woke up. You want to say something, Chubbs? Huh? Say something. Come on. No bite? Oh, okay, he's just being a little jerk. What can I say? Maybe next time I'll feed him a little gravy and see if he can make some noises. Maybe. Timothy Castleberry, there he is. Tim, great to see you, man. Lucas Williams, guys, nice to see everyone, man. Thank you. Thanks for being here, guys. And I'm sorry, I'm just now about to get off, but we've gone for about an hour and a half. Like I said, I've got a lot more work to do. I've got more videos coming out. I got 3 new ones going up on the website. whoiskjosborne.com. It's with a Z. And I've got more videos to finish up here for YouTube. The newest one will be first the statues, then the churches. And I got a lot of stuff to put in there. I got a lot of love for you guys, man. I mean it. I've missed you. I've missed doing this. This is what I love to do. It's been a passion for me for many years. The advice of a handful of trolls that we all get on these channels for years. Hey, idiot, get a job, get a real job. I did it, it sucked. But, again, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. But I don't want to have to do that again. Like I said, I will find other ways to earn my money, but I do want to continue doing my work no matter what, whether there's money there or not. Then I'm fine with going out and getting another job, maybe, like I said, something cleaning or something. I'm not trying to start some new career here. You know what I mean? I just need to just keep it moving, keep getting by. I want to increase the work. So if you're not a Patreon, it's over on my website. Feel free. I've also got a PayPal there. If you're interested, you can donate. I've been maintaining videos on the website now for a long time. There have been a couple weeks I missed, and then again, that was when I was training for the job. And that just goes to show you, when we go out and get these jobs, like some people will bitch about, our work just goes to crap. It sucks. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like, you're putting your energy into one thing or the other. And I was trying to find a way to balance the two, and it just kept getting harder to do, So anyway, yeah, much love, guys. I appreciate you being here tonight. This is usually where I ramble on about how awesome you guys are and how much I appreciate you being here. But I do. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce off for now. I'm going to get in touch with Face Like the Sun, Mr. Gomes here real quick. If we can't get a show going. And we'll just kind of keep going from there. It's hard for me to tell what each show is going to be like. They change up so much. But, no matter what, we'll do our best to keep it interesting. So God bless you guys. Thanks for being here. You're awesome. I'm going to stop now. This is where I ramble on and on. I've got to stop. God bless, man. Have a good weekend, guys. Take care.